Okay, we're testing mic aux 3 and mic aux. Try to get them synchronized, the two mics, two H1s. Synchronizing. 33 milliseconds. Experiment. Hi everybody. My name's Howard and my channel is WBIG.Tv. If it's your first time here, welcome. And if not, then welcome back. I just thought I'd share my thoughts on a Zoom H1 purchase I made. Just came in today from eBay. After I've been using Zoom H1s, and they're great, aren't they? So I've had this one. It says A on it because it's the first one I bought. I've had it for years. I don't know, 5 years or something. Not sure. I've even got the glue. I had to hot glue in the mics because they break off. Finally, I just hot glued them. And I've seen other guys hold up theirs, and I noticed the glue. So I guess great minds think alike. And, you know, it works because they've got horrible isolation anyway. If you're touching the mic, if you're touching the unit, it all translates into the microphone and you hear all the rustling noise, whether you've got it glued to the case or not. They really don't have it floating in there much better than if you just glued it. So that's not why I'm making the film though. See, I'm changing cameras with my Elgato Stream Deck. Here, I'm on the set of Lounge Academy where we do a live lounge piano streaming party every Friday night. So I use these H1s and I started using two. There's two. I'm talking into two at once right now because one goes to the guests, people sitting around the piano in this situation, and the other one faces me to pick me up, and then in OBS I can actually work the levels and everything while I'm sitting at the piano. So the last episode or two, I've been getting this noise, like a high-pitched, oops, see how noisy these things are? But they're worth it. If you touch the stand or anything, I'm sure you heard a lot of noise. So you just don't. But anyway, I was hearing a lot of, I added the second mic, because I had two. I had my original that I marked A. I bought one marked B just, I don't know, within the last year or two, because I liked the first one so much, and I wanted another mic so I could mic up somebody I'm talking to, or I was using it mostly for recording and then syncing in post-production. And then about 6 weeks ago, we started streaming these episodes live, which kind of changes things up a little bit. You know, I could only have, well, I was starting back at 1 for a mic source, rather than having like 5 cameras and 2 H1s, one in my pocket, one on the piano at the end, plus all the camcorders. And then when I would do post-production, you could bring in whatever you want to hear whatever you want to hear the best. Well, when I'm doing live, I'm not that sophisticated yet. I don't have a mixer. So I started hooking up a second USB mic, the second H1. And around the time of doing that, an audible whining, whistling in the background and distortion. It's a real mess. So I started screwing around and troubleshooting, and I narrowed it down, unfortunately, or fortunately, to my original Zoom H1. And then I even tried recording on it and putting the SD card in the computer. And first time I listened to it, I thought, oh, it's quiet. It must be something in the, the USB mic part of it. But you know what? I played it again and I was able to hear that digital high-pitched whiny noise in the background. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like if you were running power and data in the same cable and it starts to transfer and you start hearing it, even though that's not what was happening. So I thought, okay, I'll just buy another Zoom H1. So I went online, see how much they cost. I think the last one I bought, the first one I bought at a local music store. The price was about right, and they had it, so I bought it. And the second one that I bought the last year or two, I actually got it on eBay, and it was from a pawn shop. And this pawn shop was barely used, so I took a shot at it, and it was like $50 or something. It was really cheap and it was beautiful. He had all the packaging and stuff, so I've been very happy with it. It still works great. So I thought, well, let me see what I could find on Zoom H1 number 3. And I found out for the first time that it had been superseded by a new model, the Zoom H1n, right? H1n. So I watched a few YouTube videos about it, and the price is about the same. I don't know, they're around $100. And I noticed there were a few differences with it. Seems like a nicer unit overall, the new model. Everybody likes it. It has a bigger screen. They moved the buttons to the front instead of the side. It has what looks like a little more protection for the mics. But I noticed a couple of things. It uses 2 AA batteries instead of 1. Well, as USB mics for live streaming, I don't even use battery power. The battery's in there, but it's using the USB. But still, lots of times I use them as recorders. And I've got a supply of AA batteries. It's like, I didn't feel like having a whole supply of AAA batteries and then having to use 2 per session instead of 1 per mic. Not a deal breaker, but that was one factor. And then I may have misunderstood this, or the person doing the YouTube video, I watched a few of them, he may have misspoken. They said the USB was the smaller size. Then I've got the H1 uses the old-fashioned, like version 1, as far as I know of it, as the USB connection. It's shaped like that, right here. And I watched the YouTube video and left with the impression that, here I am way over here, that it used the smaller connector. It's like, now I got to keep track of 2 different connectors, plus learn a new system. The new system, it's probably better than the old one as far as the menus and stuff. But why learn 2? When you've got one, you've got a fleet, they're all the same. I'm happy with it. So I made the executive decision to go with another Zoom H1, even though I don't even think they make them anymore. So I looked around for a few days, and I didn't want it to take forever because I really wanted both mics back in action for Friday, our live stream, which is tomorrow already. So a few days ago, one came up. It wasn't, I've been following them for about a day, and a new one came up on eBay, a new listing, and it was brand new in the box, and she wanted $62 or $63 plus $10 shipping. So, and it was a buy it now. So I bought it now, And I got it a day before. It wasn't even supposed to come till Friday, which would have been touch and go because I might have been downtown here and not near my UPS store where I get my stuff. So today I was getting my mail and there it was, brand new in the box, just like she said. I mean, it doesn't look like it's ever been opened. You know, box did not look ever opened. It's got all the stuff in there, the battery. So I've got 3 H1s. One doesn't work as well as it used to. I'll have to see if I can figure out why it's making that digitally sound. But in the meantime, that's why I went with a Zoom H1 instead of an H1n. So for people shopping for the new ones, maybe my perspective will help you. I'm not telling you to buy a Zoom H1 instead of an H1n. If I didn't have any, I'd probably buy the N. But this way, they're kind of all the same. And interesting, I'm running them through OBS. And I have to take one of the mics in the advanced controls and delay it by 33 milliseconds. And I do this until it sounds like one clap and there's no like flanginess or anything. And that's what we've got now. These pick up the piano nice. Now I used to use these. I had one in my pocket. Boy, it would pick up great there. If you ever put it in a pocket of a sport coat or a shirt pocket, just aimed up at yourself, it'll pick you up great. But it'll also pick up your clothes rustling if you're moving around a lot, because those cases do transmit the noise into the microphone capsules. So I found that using the low pass filter or the low cutoff filter switch on the back, I just leave that on now because there's always different things causing commotion. And that eliminated a lot of that. It helped. You know, you could use a lavalier mic with these, but you get so spoiled because these stereo mics in these Zoom H1s, and I'm sure the H1n is just as good, if not maybe even better, who knows. They sound so good. It's very hard. I couldn't find a microphone that didn't cost, you know, $1 zillion to sound as good as these Zoom H1s. So it's another reason I just stuck with what I like. But, you know, I tried lavalier mics. I bought a stereo Sony lavalier mic because you also get spoiled on having stereo. You know, when you're using lavs and stuff, you're recording a track for a video. People don't, I guess people don't really care that much about stereo, but you do get spoiled by it because you do have that nice spatial aspect to it that you don't get, you know, if you're using a mono mic. So go ahead and comment. Let me know what your experiences were with the Zoom H1 or if my diatribe helped you in any way. Like, again, I'm not trying to talk people into one or the other. I'm just giving my reasons why I went ahead and stuck with the Zoom H1. Wound up saving money too. Although you can get the Zoom H1Ns refurbished. There's a ton of them on eBay and Amazon for like $88. There's probably nothing wrong with them. So if you want to see these things in action, tune in any Friday night, at least in the foreseeable, for ongoing in the foreseeable future. And we're doing, you'll see our lounge piano party. We stream for a few hours. And there's guests in the room, there's guests around the piano, and I mix it while I'm playing, so if they're having an interesting conversation about a song, we do the Great American Songbook, you know, the old great composers, Gershwin, Cole Porter, Harold Arlen, H1s here at Lounge Academy. You can't see it, but right here I got a monitor. It's got a big touch screen. It's a big PC monitor. You can see it. It's right here. So I could produce the show while I'm at the piano. We got another monitor that just duplicates this monitor. See it? Across the room, here I am. And that way the guests can see if they're in the shot or not. It's funny, they all start to get to be real hams, you know. First they're like, I don't want my picture taken. And now, you know, a few weeks later, they're all like dressing up for it and getting seats where they'll be on camera, watching on their cell phone while we're doing it. So anyway, I'll let everybody go, and thanks for tuning in. Join us on a Friday night. You know, I'm live streaming. Lately, though, I've been using my Facebook. So you can still see them because I download them from Facebook or take my local recording off of OBS and I upload it to YouTube within a few days after the show. I'm not using the service yet that you stream out to and then they break it off into both Facebook and YouTube. I'm going to do that later down the road. So right now I'm doing Facebook. It's just to try this concept out and to kind of get it rolling, and then we're going to open it to the public and promote it more. So thanks everybody. Let me know how you like your Zoom H1s.